The Georgia Gym Dogs end the season in a spectacular fashion against Michigan. Stay tuned. We have all the highlights next.
And the Dogs D is done.
Show is brought to you by Melwood Springs. Melwood Springs from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Georgia.
Hi, welcome to the Gym Dog Show. I'm Associate Head Coach Jay Clark, flying solo this week as Suzanne is out for spring break. And we just finished up our regular season against Michigan here at home. It was senior night, and what a great night it turned out to be. The loss at UCLA really seemed to stir the gymnast and got us going in the right direction again. And we feel really good about the way this meet ended. We end up taking over the #1 spot in the nation, although that may be temporary because we have no more regular season meets. And so we're 2 weeks off until the SEC championships in Little Rock, Arkansas. But today we'll take a look at the meet against Michigan. And tonight we're honoring our seniors, Kelsey Erickson, Ashley Kupets, and Adrian Dishman. We told the kids prior to the meet that tonight was about a celebration. It wasn't about a goodbye, and it was about having a party for our seniors. And as you'll see, we had a great time on the floor tonight. Marcia Newby gets us started on vault tonight. Marcia's become a mainstay in our vault lineup. She's doing a great job. Big step there on the landing, but a huge vault, probably one of the biggest ones she's done all year. You can see the amplitude. She rises really high off the horse there. A big step there at the end. That's going to be a 10th and a half, and she goes 9.825. Kelsey Erickson, a senior, next up. Big Yurchenko full. Kelsey's just now starting to get back into the full swing of things on vault. It's a very big vault and just takes the step. Probably a 10th right there, 9.875, but the amplitude keeps it close to that 9.9 mark. Tiffany Tolnay up on vault, and Tiffany seems to have battled through her problems on vault, and that's a huge Yurchenko full. Just the hop on the landing. I challenge anyone to find a bigger Yurchenko full anywhere in the country right now. Just a great vault, 9.9 with the hop on the landing. Becky Bernard from Michigan on the bars. She's a sophomore from the state of Ohio. Up around the Dayton area. That's a nice hop full she does to a giant full and a giant half. Overshoot to handstand, a little weak on the release moves, but the hop full does satisfy one of the major release requirements. Then she gets ready for her dismount, a nice double layout that she nails and goes 9.925. And here it is, Ashley Kupets, going last as a senior on vault, nails the vault and goes 10 for the first time in her career. And what a great moment it was to have her be put into that position. She was set up by her teammates who were going 9.9 all over the place in front of her. And then when you stick a vault the way she just did, you see she just slides her feet together and they get the 10, and the crowd is really into it. And you can see they're just letting her know how glad they are that she was able to do that on senior night. What a great moment it was for all of us. So we're headed over the bars, and we've got a 49.5 on vault, and that's a great start. That's where you want to be for that 198 pace that we'd like to be on. And Nikki's going to get us started off on the uneven bars, back in her traditional spot that she's been most of the year. Beautiful giant 1.5, which is an E, connected to a D release, a Jaeger. It could be a little bigger. I'd like it to get a little higher above the bar. You see a little bit of a check there on that half pirouette, maybe half a 10th on that. That one's very good. She did a good job on that one. She comes back. And really the only thing at Nationals that they probably can take on Nikki is that she does do a C dismount, although she connects it to a D. She does do the double tuck and goes 9.85, and that's about where we expect her to be. Tiffany Tolnay. Tiffany's been on a mission the last 2 weeks, actually won the all-around in UCLA. There's a beautifully done, huge straddle Jaeger for her first release. Second D release is a bail to handstand. She normally does a soul circle right there and circles back up without having to stand up on the bar. This is a giant full, right on top. A little crooked, though, as she overturns it a little bit. And then she nails a double front and goes 9.9 on bars, and that's where Tiffany needs to be. Nellie Kipley on vault for Michigan. Yurchenko layout half front. She nails the landing. It's a great vault. The only thing I could see they probably got her on is a little bit of body position there at the end. It's a little too arched, a little almost loose arch, but a great vault, 9.9. And Grace Taylor moving deeper into the lineup on this day. She's fourth in the lineup. You see the hop chains to the front stall to her half. A little leg separation there on the overshoot to hand, and that's a point of frustration for Grace and I both. We've been working very hard on that. Her signature move, the Coleman Each, that I have not seen anybody else do in the country this year. And then a double out, which she takes a small hop there on, but she knew it was a great routine, and she goes 9.925. And so we didn't see Kelsey. Kelsey fell ahead of Courtney on her Tkachev, and so Courtney is in an unusual situation where she has to hit or we're going to count a fall. So I think she got a little tentative there. You can see the overshoot did not get up the way we want it to, which is really not a deduction on paper, although it's pretty obvious that she wants to go to handstand on that. Huge hop full to Tkachev release combination. I don't know anybody that does it any better. She does hop the landing just a little bit there and goes 9.95. So after 2 rotations, we're at a 98.95, just under that 198 pace to their 98.375.
The Jim Dog Show is brought to you by Melwood Springs. Melwood Springs from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Georgia. By Makar Homes. Makar Homes, built with passion for over 50 years. Brown Arrowhead Clinic. Arrowhead Clinic, Georgia's largest spinal health care organization. By Athens Regional Medical Center. At Athens Regional, we have a specialty. You. By the John Bull Stores of the Bahamas. John Bull, the shopping mecca of the Caribbean. And by Phil Hughes Honda. Phil Hughes Honda, the official car dealer of the Georgia Gym Dogs.
One look and you'll be captivated. The all-new Honda CR-V. Everything has been redesigned from the exterior to the amenity-rich interior. Indulge your senses with elements like leather, navigation, an updated engine with better power, gas mileage, and cleaner emissions. Drive with confidence. It's also been awarded the top safety pick for its class. The Honda CR-V. It's the SUV you've been craving. Visit Phil Hughes Honda on the Atlanta Highway, Athens.
Makar Homes is proud to announce its 50th anniversary. With passion for quality, Makar is committed to customer satisfaction before, during, and after building your home. With over 40 communities around Atlanta, Makar has a plan and neighborhood for any lifestyle, from affordable townhomes to luxurious estates. For more information, visit www.makarhomes.com. Makar Homes, built with passion for over 50 years.
Ask Suzanne, brought to you by Makar Homes. And this week's question is, how much time do you give the Gym Dogs off during spring break? And well, this year we're going to give them a little more because we have a little bit more of a break prior to the SEC Championships than we normally have. So they'll be off all the way through Wednesday of this week, and that gives them a good 4 or 5 day break, and they really need it. Physically, they really need it to get the rest. And that's Ask Suzanne, brought to you by Makar Homes. Welcome back. Well, after 2 rotations, you can see we've had a great vault rotation. We had a really good bar rotation, too, with the exception of Kelsey getting a little too excited on bars, and I think it partially had something to do with the fact that her teammate and fellow senior had a great vault and got a 10 on vault, and I think Kelsey was really trying to do too much and just got a little anxious and overwent on her first release move. But everybody else stepped it up, and we had 5 solid routines. We went 49.45 on that event, so we've got a good solid lead going into the balance beam. And really, at this point, we're just trying to get too excited about how well we're doing because we've yet to have a meet where we've put 4 events together the way we'd like to. The goal tonight is to go 24 for 24. We've already missed 1 routine, but it didn't cost us anything. So we've got to make sure that we maintain our focus, execute the balance beam exactly the way we want to, and then head over to floor and really have a good time with this crowd that's in here for senior night. So let's take a look at the balance beam highlights. Nikki Childs up early for us on the balance beam. Grace is already gone and had a little bit of a rough routine for her, scoring in the 9.7 range. Nikki has beautiful beam when she's on. There's really not anybody that looks any better than her. That's a great series that she does. Does a switch ring right there. That's another D, very difficult. And Nikki has a style and a line that is all her own on this event. We really like having her in the lineup. It gives us we have a variety of looks. You can see a major deduction there, and that's mental errors that we should not be making. And here's the front aerial. She does that very well, which had been the problem earlier. And then she does a pretty good dismount, goes 9.85, but she had at least a 10th on that major wobble. Tiffany Tolnay up next. She's ranked number 8 in the nation on this event and number 2 in the all-around behind teammate Katie Heenan. This is probably the best routine she's done in quite some time on this event. See, she's getting ready for a series. She did that switch side, and the amplitude on that is big. Tiffany's gymnastics is just big. I mean, if you look at the height that she's able to get off the apparatus, whether it's vault or beam or floor, there's really not anybody that can get much higher than her, and you see it in her leaps and her jumps. She nailed her series. That's a great front tuck. You can tell because she opens to land, and she's upright and not falling forward when she lands that. It's just a great execution of that skill. Just a slight bobble there on the front, on the full turn, excuse me. And then we've got to get to the dismount, and the dismount, it all comes down to the landing. Hopefully at Nationals, when they see the double backs versus some of the simpler dismounts, they'll be a little more forgiving on those landings. That's a switch sleep to a straddle jump. She gets a 10th of bonus for that. And now we're getting ready for the dismount. Back handspring to a double tuck. And she does take the step there, but goes 9.9. So I think as we're getting later in the season, you're seeing the judges hit them a little less on those landings when rewarding them when they do the greater difficulty. This is Katie Lieberman from Illinois. Opens with a double pike there. Front double full. Katie is from Illinois Gymnastics Institute up in the Chicago area. And a front full to a front pike. Solid routine, 9.875. Courtney Kupets on the balance beam for us. We moved McCool to the end of the lineup tonight in Katie's absence. So Courtney stays in her 5th spot, and you can see there's a uncharacteristic balance check for her. Courtney's a rock on this event normally. And another one there, and both of those are about half tenthers. And then we go to the switch side, the leap combination there. And there's the gainer layout and another balance check. So we've got 3 half-tenthers right there. She does do a very good dismount there. Just a shift of the foot, 9.85, and Courtney's a little disappointed with that. So Becky Bernard is over on floor. She entered the meet ranked 22 on this event. There's a front layout. That's a little bit weaker than what you'd like to be doing in the middle, particularly at this part of the season. That's a B to a B, and then she does finish with a D-level pass with the Rudy. Over to Courtney McCool on the balance beam in the anchor position, and right now we need a hit. We need a good solid score in order to be able to go over to the floor and have anything worth salvaging in terms of a high score. So she does a great job that she put the layout back in. That's the first time she's done that this year. So far, so good. Everything's looking really good. Courtney has beautiful leaps and jumps and just executes the details better than anybody else on our team. A great front aerial there, no deduction. And right here, she's really trying to stick and absorb that landing, and you see a little too much, and she goes 9.9. But overall, a fairly disappointing event for us, 49.275. That's about 2.5 tenths below where we need to be on that event.
Hi, my name is Ellen, and I want to ask Ashley what it was like to score a perfect 10 on senior night.
Thanks for the question. Getting a perfect 10 was a dream come true. I can't even explain to you the emotions that were running through my mind, and I couldn't stop crying uncontrollably. But it was really exciting, and I'm just thankful that I could do it on my senior night.
You've been injured in a car crash. You won't get the money you deserve if your injuries haven't been properly treated and, most important, documented. At Arrowhead Clinics, we've been treating and documenting the injuries of car accident victims for years. We are the experts, and we provide the best treatment and documentation available for your injuries. It's already been several hours since your accident. Don't delay. Your injuries must be properly documented. So make the call now, because the first thing you need to do is get treatment. Arrowhead is the leader.
Drop by drop. A trickle becomes a stream, flowing from the source. Refreshing, fresh, in the store or at your door. Millwood Springs.
Welcome back. Well, a less than stellar performance on the balance beam bites us again, and so we're really working hard to try. And we talked to the kids early in the meet about making sure they had fun, and you could kind of feel that when the wobbles began to happen, that the air started coming out of the bubble a little bit, and so we huddle them up and we talk to them about making sure they have a good time on floor. That's going to be key. If we get over there, we can get this crowd back into it, and we can still salvage a very high 197 score. It's unfortunate because after the bars and vault rotations, we were on pace for a 198, and that would have been obviously the benchmark that we'd like to set for ourselves. But going into the balance beam, you know, we just got a little bit tight, and you could see the kids wobble a little bit and make some uncharacteristic mistakes that shouldn't be happening this late in the season. So now we head over to floor, and we've got to kind of pull our bootstraps up and get over there and knock it out on floor and get the crowd back into it. The students showed up even though it's spring break, and they're over there just begging for us to get over there and do a great job and knock it out and so they can get vocal and enjoy their time here at the meet. So, and really support those seniors who are going to be in the last two spots tonight. Kelsey and Ashley will wrap up our floor lineup. So let's take a look at what happens on floor and how we wrap up this meet against Michigan. So we're over on floor, and Grace is leading off for us. And I'm going to tell you right now, before we go through these highlights, you better get used to 9-9s because that's where we're headed. What a great floor event this was for us tonight. Grace just opens up with a beautifully done whip to double pike. Comes right back, double tuck in the middle. She's been a little frustrated in the gym like this and just glad to get back into the floor rotation. Finishes with a 2.5, dances right out of it and goes 9-9 to lead us off, and we're on a roll. Courtney McCool comes in there. 2.5 punch front full, and folks, that's probably as best you can do that routine. That is a world-class tumbling pass right there. Beautiful done, double full. We're still planning to upgrade that as we get later into the postseason. Finishes with a front double full, probably a 1/2 tenth deduction there, but nothing in her dance, and you didn't get to see it all. But what a great routine. It was just unbelievably executed. A 9.95, that ties her career high. So now we get into the power tumbling. We've seen some of the Grace and the performers. Now we get into some of the power, and Tiffany Tolna, a huge Arabian double front. That goes back to the amplitude that we were talking about earlier with her. You can walk under that tumbling pass. Front full, a little bit of a balance check there at the end, about a 1/2 tenth maybe. And then she finishes up with a double pike for another D. And Tiffany has just really been on a roll here of late. Great job, excellent landing, 9.9 on floor to keep us going. So now it's Courtney Kupetz's turn. Another enormous Arabian double front, lands it beautifully. She's been kind of fighting with the floor on that pass in the last few weeks, and she's finally gotten comfortable with landing it. Front layout, front Rudy to Shushanova, unusual pass, very nicely done. Finishes up with her double pike, and watch this landing. Bam, like a dart in the ground, and she goes 9.975. And then the seniors come in, and here's Kelsey, really her second routine that she's even done, and opens with a big double pike. We're hoping to have the full end back for the championship portion of the season, but no need to push that as of yet. She just needs to get back out there. Her middle pass is supposed to be a front full to a front full, but as you'll see, she stands up a little too hard out of the first one and does a front layout half. It's just a different skill. It's a C to a B instead of a C to a C. There's no deduction for doing that. She did it cleanly. And Kelsey's dancing through her routine. It's a rock and roll themed routine with Guns N' Roses, and that's been sort of Kelsey's theme throughout her career. She likes that kind of music, and Suzanne allows the girls to express their own personalities with their music whenever they want to. But we're just glad to see Kelsey out there. And you saw the parents sitting on the couch in the background on senior night. They're sitting there cheering their daughters on, and it's just a really special night every year for seniors and their parents to be recognized in the way that they are. We're winding up for the last pass, and it's a double tuck. A round off back handspring, double back. She gets a D for that, and a little hop there forward. You see her dad comes out of the chair, and she goes 9.9 on that. So we're down to the last event to be done in Stegman Coliseum for Ashley Kupetz. This is her final routine in Stegman, and that's an enormous double pike, folks. That thing is huge, and big landing problem there on the, probably a 10th on the landing there. Her leap series, she does a Popa to a Wolf 1.5. She gets bonus, dance bonus there, 1/10 of bonus. The middle pass, front full to front layout, done excellent, very well. Probably the best she's done that since she really started doing floor again. And this is a fun routine. The crowd gets into it, and our team really gets into it, and you can see Ashley's having a great time with it and really performing to the level that you've come accustomed to seeing her do. She's going to finish up. The last pass is a double tuck. And what you can't see is that the team is over there doing the routine with her virtually the entire time. They all know each other's routines probably better than they know their own. You can see that a couple of the teammates back there. Abby's got her hair painted red for the seniors tonight. She finishes up with that double tuck. Big, big double tuck, 9.875, and just a great way for our two seniors to close their career in front of the home crowd at Stegman Coliseum. So our final score is a 197.875 to Michigan's 196.50, and a great win for the Georgia Gym Dogs. Routine of the Week brought to you by Athens Regional Medical Center, and this week's routine, there's no question, is Ashley Coupette's on senior night. Does her best vault of her entire career, gets a perfect 10, her first perfect 10 of her career, and that's Routine of the Week brought to you by Athens Regional Medical Center.
I'm sorry, honey. I know it hurts. Oh, x-rays, they don't hurt at all. It's like a magic eye that looks inside of your body to see if anything's broken. This is where Hannah came to get her stitches out last year, remember? Of course, honey. Mommy will be with you the whole time. And remember, Mommy wouldn't take you here if it wasn't the best place in the whole world.
Athens Regional Medical Center, a passion for medical excellence.
Drop by drop, pure, refreshing. A trickle becomes a stream, flowing from the source. Refreshing, fresh, in the store or at your door. Millwood Springs.
Countdown to the NC2As brought to you by Millwood Springs, and this week we regained the #1 spot after Florida has held on to it for 8 weeks, and Alabama moves into the #3 spot. That makes the SEC a clean sweep at the top. LSU rounds out where the SEC is at #8 spot in the nation, and that's Countdown to the NC2As brought to you by Millwood Springs. Well, there it is. It ends up being a great night for us, particularly on the floor exercise, where we go 49.65. That is the highest score in the nation on the floor exercise, and it gives us the second highest team score in the nation of a 197.875, which has only been bested by this very team as a 198 that we scored against Alabama early in the year. So we now own the top 2 team scores in the nation, and that's got to be a great confidence booster as we head into the postseason. We did it tonight without the #1 all-arounder in the nation, Katie Heenan, who's out resting because of a slight muscle strain in her calf. And the rest that we're going to have over the next 2 weeks comes at a great time, because you still have Courtney dealing with a little bit of a foot issue. You still have Kelsey dealing with a little bit of a foot issue. And so we're trying to get all those things ironed out, and having these 2 weeks off is really going to go a long way towards getting us back to 100% in terms of health when we head into the SEC championships and face Florida and Alabama and the rest of the crew that are trying to take the SEC title back from us. So we'll see you next week with a regular season review that will look back at the highlights of the entire regular season to this point. Thanks for joining us today.
The Gym Dog Show has been brought to you by Millwood Springs. Millwood Springs from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Georgia. By Makar Homes. Makar Homes, built with passion for over 50 years. Brown Arrowhead Clinic. Arrowhead Clinic, Georgia's largest spinal health care organization. By Athens Regional Medical Center. At Athens Regional, we have a specialty. You. By the John Bull Stores of the Bahamas. John Bull, the shopping mecca of the Caribbean. And by Phil Hughes Honda. Phil Hughes Honda, the official car dealer of the Georgia Gym Dogs.